Listen, listen, listen. I just killed it. 180-inch monster. I know there is a piebald doe. A 2-day hunt. I found him yesterday. I came in and killed him today. Oh my god. I am tickled pink.
Where do I begin? 2018 rolls around and there's not a lot of chances that I get at a high caliber class deer like the one I got this year. It was unbelievable. There was a buck that we called Goliath. We've been after for 4 years now, and he's just once in a lifetime deer. And to capture him on film was a challenge. Back in 2015 was when we first got pictures of him, and we were just astonished by his antler growth at that young of an age. And he was just a clean 8-point at the time, probably in the 140s. Just stood around on the farm all year round. It was a buck that we just had to let grow. My dad's seen him the next year. We got early season pictures of him. It was just amazing how well he grew the next year. He's still an 8-point buck, had a couple stickers off his left and right G2s. We believed he was 4 or 5 years old. We were just excited to see that he lived throughout the season, the past season. So it was a great feeling knowing he was alive. It gives us another chance to go after him another year. 2017 rolls around after those encounters back in 2016 season, and we finally get more pictures of him. Make this picture 1000. It was just a relentless fight against this buck, and my dad actually got another encounter with him, luckily, throughout the 2017 Ohio gun season, pretty much around the same time of year as he did in 2016. It was a cat and mouse game, just back and forth with this deer. We wouldn't be hunting that day. That day he'd show up during daylight hours, and then the day we get to check the cameras, the mornings and evenings we decide to hunt, he doesn't show up. He shows at nighttime. During the rut, he was there daytime hours. He was just a hard buck to calculate, and couldn't get on him that easy during the 2017 season. He was a movie star type of deer. I never took the time to truly hunt the deer that my dad was truly after throughout the 3 years of hunting them. 2015, 2016, 2017 seasons. 2018 rolls around, we get early pictures of him, velvet and hardhorn. We find out kind of where his home range was. Seems like the older the deer get, the smaller the range becomes. He was showing up more and more during daylight hours during the early season this year compared to the rest of the seasons. This year he just absolutely blew up into a monster buck. He had a bunch of kickers as bases, lost his 2 kickers off both of his G2s. He grew this bladed split G4 on his right side, make it very distinguishable. He just turned into an absolute giant. This year was a little bit different in occurrence to the past 3 years. I was wanting to chase after this deer myself. 2 different hunters going after him might make a difference. We had early pictures of him in early September. Just lost his velvet. He was coming in daylight quite often. He was in a bachelor group of bucks that we also had encounters with throughout the seasons. Me and my dad decided that we would take the extra time to pattern this deer. That way we don't play that big old cat and mouse game with him again. This buck we call Goliath, he was actually a little bit easier to pattern this year than the past few years, because it seems like the older the deer get, the smaller their home range becomes. So we were assuming his bedding area was within a 40-acre to 60-acre range from where we were hunting at. The neighboring property is a very, very thick piece of land. Felt like he was bedding in there during the early season, not too far off a bean field, just down the road. So this buck would hit the beans in the evenings, come back early in the mornings and walk right by our trail cams.
We're after a buck we named Goliath. And he is Goliath. He's probably pushing 180, mid-170s. I know I've shot a few deer like that in my past time, and this guy's pretty big. He's up there with them. We've been after him on the farm for the past 3 years, maybe. And he's been in this area during daylight every single year consistently. We're just playing a cat and mouse game with him right now. Seems like he's just doing this little comedy routine where he just follows us around, or we're following him around. Can never catch up with him. There's a couple nice bucks and other bucks in the area too. Tonight's supposed to be the best night for this time of year, or at least this weekend. Best chance to get him. I got my brand new bow, Matthews Triax. I've got Will behind the camera. And we're hoping to get it done tonight.
So where we were hunting at wasn't in between his bedding and his food. We fed the deer well on our property, but it didn't seem like they were patterned all that well coming from their bedding to our feed, because there's multiple food sources around the area. Luckily, fortunately, there wasn't a lot of hunters in the area, so we knew this buck was going to be safe throughout the season. Throws around, tactics change just a little bit. We're always careful when walking through the woods. Picked a spot where we already have a tree stand hung up, kind of near where we had pictures of him early season. Me and my buddy Will, he's filming, he's behind the camera. We climb up in the tree stand October 28th evening where we begin daylight activity of the deer. He doesn't show. That cat and mouse game all over again. So that evening, me and Will decided to back out on October 28th after the hunt, and we decided to play it safe, not hunt the buck, not pressure that area for a while. Try to wait as close to the rut as possible during that chasing phase, tending phase area of where we knew a lot of does were in the area. A lot of those does are coming in the heat around this time of year. All the bucks are showing their dominance, and he's pushing the limits around this home range area. So we decided to play it safe, wait till the right wind, go in after him.
This is what happens when deer hunting gets the best of you. You don't take care of yourself. You look like this.
What are you talking about? I just took a shower.
Like a wild man.
My hair's falling out. I'm balding.
I am too, dude. Don't worry. Okay, Brady, tell us what's going on today.
I'm getting my hair cut. That's what. Okay, no. First, I'm putting my toboggan on. Okay. Then we're gonna go kill a big buck.
So I just tagged out on the 4th.
It is November 7th, I think.
Yeah, I think so. So I'm freshly tagged out here in Ohio. Brady and I just got done with our work and stuff for the day. Trying to sneak a quick set out to a spot we think is going to be good, right?
And we're hitting the woods.
Hitting the woods hard. It's time to get out there, so.
Full front push through right after a solid rain for a day and a half or something like that here in Ohio. And then, like I said, temperatures dropping, pressure's rising, no rain, clear blue bird sky, and we've been seeing the action, we've been in them, so we'll see.
Just gotta connect.
It's November 7th. Me and Will decide to hunt again after we get off work one evening. We're discussing things with my dad, saying which side of the property we need to be hunting. We all decided to go on the property that night, and my dad decides to hunt the back end of the property where we thought we were going to have an encounter with Goliath. Me and Will decided to hunt the front end of the property up on top near our food plot. The wind was a southwest wind, so we had to set up as far north of the food plot as possible. There were no hang-ons in the area. We took our climbers out, climbed up in the tree stand. We felt like that was the best opportunity to get a crack at one of these deer.
phone with my dad, and he said there's a giant buck in between me and him. We're hunting on the opposite side of the farm right now. There's 3 big bucks here. One that we call David, one that we call Goliath, and there's a giant 8-pointer that has just thick mass that we call Eiffel, just because he has 11 to 12 inch tines. All of his points are real tall. He's only an 8 though. But they're all mature deer, 5.5 or older. He wasn't for sure which one he saw, but it's heading, kind of cutting the path in between of us right now, so we'll see what happens. Our wind's right for that buck to be coming in front of us right now. The wind's blowing in our face. There's a trail that sits in behind of us that he might take, but I'm not sure. Let's just hope he comes up down this food plot right here and hope for the best.
Earlier that evening, around 4 o'clock, we actually get a nice pretty encounter with a beautiful 3.5-year-old deer that we call 1.5 because he had a broken rack. He's a really aggressive deer, just got done rattling him in, and he puts on a show. So he walks out of the food plot right in behind of us, dead downwind of us. We had the ozonics running, Evercom scents out in the tree, so we were completely scent free. Took a shower, washed our clothes, all the above. Didn't even know we were up there, had no clue we were there, just moseyed off. After that buck walked off, me and Will were talking, just kind of goofing around the tree stand. Had no other encounters with any does of any sort, no bucks, nothing, not a single thing. Kind of getting discouraged about the hunt, didn't know how I was going to go out, but then everything changed in the blink of an eye. I tell Will, off in the distance, I can hear a deer walking toward us in our general direction. We weren't sure if it was a doe or a buck, just by the way it sounded. It was kind of heavy patterned, heavy sounding. We knew it had to have been a buck. A couple minutes go by, nothing yet. I hear the deer again, getting closer and closer. I look down and I see a giant rack. Didn't know which deer it was. I immediately grabbed my bow. I knew for sure it was a shooter, just didn't know which buck on the farm it was, hoping it was Goliath. I look down again, this buck's walking right at me. I tell Will to get on him as fast as possible. No action yet. The buck stops, then starts walking toward me again, right dead at the tree. I thought he was going to walk right underneath the bus. I look down and immediately noticed as he's walking to me that he had that split forked G4 on that right side, and I immediately knew it was Goliath. So the buck turns to the left, walks into my first shooting lane I had cut in front of me, 17-yard, perfect broadside shot. I drew back on the deer. Will's trying his very best, zooming in, zooming out, trying to figure out this low light situation on the camera. This is his second time using the camera I just bought for this upcoming deer season. He's just trying his best, and I take the shot anyway, and I'll let the video tell you the rest. Listen. I just killed Goliath, dude. I just killed Goliath. Oh my god. He's down. Dude, oh my, he's down, Brady. I just killed it. 180-inch monster, dude. He's down, baby. Come on, baby. I just killed Goliath. Come on, dude. 3 days after I killed my fucking kid. Dude, I freaking drilled him. Dude, 3 days. Are you recording? Oh my god, I just can't believe I just killed
Goliath. Oh my. Hello? I just killed Goliath. I just killed Goliath. I smoked him at 20 yards. He is huge. Yeah, he crashed. He's dead. He's down there in the valley somewhere. No, I heard him crash though. Okay. Okay. What? What? Yeah. He was by himself. Down in the valley. Way down.
Dude.
Oh my God, man, I just killed him. Oh my God. I was so upset at myself last year. I drilled a monster last year and couldn't find him because it poured down rain and I decided to wait. This buck didn't even give me a chance to like start shaking. Now I'm coming unglued. I knew it was a giant as soon as I saw his rack. At first I thought it was that Eiffel, the 8-pointer. I was like, he's still a big buck.
It was too big.
I saw 10 points. I'm like, oh, that's Goliath, man. God.
I'm shaking for you, dude.
Oh, it makes it so much better seeing that arrow go right through him.
That's
like
awesome.
with a nocturnal.
Yeah.
Oh my God. The triax is 2 for 2. 2 for 2.
I see you're holding.
Okay. I'm gonna be down here and see where we're at. Listen. Listen. Didn't you hear that?
Looks real good, buddy.
Bright red blood. Here, I'm just gonna stick it right here.
Which way do you run?
Alright, we went straight this way. There. Oh. Straight this way.
There's blood right there. Did you bring it a good light?
I smell, dude. I smell rotten buck.
Right here on the side of the tree.
No, he cut down. He cut down right here, behind the doe.
There's blood there.
Right there. Hey, right here. Look at that log.
Holy cow. That's what I'm heard. You make Christmas. Oh my God, look at this tree. You videoing that tree?
Yeah, buddy.
Get on that wing.
Yeah.
We found him.
There he is.
Brady, what a giant, dude. There he is, buddy.
I think he's my biggest typical. He broke off his brow tine. He broke off his brow tie. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I don't know what that is.
13, 14 there.
14 points.
We called him the Big Ten. This is the buck we've been after for 3 years.
Congratulations, man.
Oh my god.
Look at that flat fork G4.
It's like a bladed double split G4.
That's nuts.
I'm sitting in blood right now.
Dude,
That's a hog.
that is a buck of a lifetime right there.
Oh my gosh.
You seem pretty calm.
It's just surreal, isn't it?
I'm in shock right now.
Look at how long that beam is.
This beam is every bit 29 inches.
Wow.
And then his right one comes out in front of his face almost.
Swoops all the way around. This beam is super, super, super long.
What a monster, dude.
This is a home raised buck, buddy. Look at that G2.
I'm in shock. I don't know what to say.
That's a long story that came to an end.
I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say.
What a giant.